The 2024 college football season comes to an end with the Michigan Wolverines defeating the Washington Huskies in the national championship. Now, there was a lot of controversy surrounding this playoff deal because Florida State, who actually won the ACC championship and went undefeated, gets put out by the committee because their quarterback Jordan Travis got hurt. The Florida State Seminole fans and Coach Mike Norvell was pissed. And Juggernaut Georgia gets put out because they lost to Alabama in the SEC conference title game. So the committee decides to move up Alabama and Texas into the 3 and 4 spot. So in the playoffs, now you have Texas versus Washington, Alabama versus Michigan. Both of those games came down to a defensive stop where Michigan stops Alabama's quarterback Jalen Milroe on a quarterback run, and Washington stops Texas by deflecting a pass in the end zone. On the Coach Me Coach podcast, me and V12 discussed the game in the pregame show, talking about, hey, who can win? With Michigan being a 5-point favorite, my mind was telling me Michigan, but my heart was saying Washington. I clearly thought Michigan had the better overall team, a tough defense and a running game, and a quarterback that could manage it all, versus Washington, who has a quarterback who is a game changer. And when he doesn't play well, the team doesn't do well, right? And you saw that clearly in the national championship. During that game, it clearly showed that Michael Penix Jr. was just not feeling comfortable, just not in rhythm, and just not on point. A lot of people thought the stage was too big for the young man. I highly disagree. Sometimes things just don't go that way. It's not because the stage is too big or the lights are too bright. Sometimes it's just simply rhythm. And as you see, Michael Penix was out there throwing balls up and down the field, overthrowing guys, underthrowing guys, but he was also being harassed by that Michigan outstanding defensive line. Like I said before, Michigan just kept Penix off schedule. He could never just find his rhythm, get in there, sit in the pocket, and just deliver the rock like he did against Texas. One thing about passing teams, when something goes wrong, everything goes wrong, and it becomes a domino effect. So you got to be able to run the ball. I always said the formula to winning is running the ball and playing good defense. And that is exactly what Michigan did in this game and this entire season. I mean, Michigan's defense was ranked number 1 this year, and they only gave up 17 touchdowns on the season. And that's big time right there. If you want to win big time games, you got to show it with a big time defense. And when it comes to J.J. McCarthy on offense, he does an excellent job managing the game, but they really weigh heavily on the running game. And with a dynamic player like Blake Corum back there running the ball, toting the rock, anything can happen. But my man Donovan Edwards jumped off the porch. In the first quarter, he popped 2 big runs for 87 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Blake Corum came in also with 21 carries, 134 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Michigan has clearly shown that you don't have to throw the ball all around the yard. Still run the ball, play good defense, and you will be a champion. Here's where Michigan football players get a ton of credit. They had a ton of distractions this year with their head coach Jim Harbaugh being suspended twice, 3 games on the front end of the schedule and 3 games on the back end of the schedule. And longtime assistant and now offensive coordinator Sharon Moore takes over for those 6-game suspension and keeps it rolling for an undefeated season. I really like Sharon Moore, and I thought he did an excellent job keeping the outside noise outside. The players could have simply got distracted and lost some ball games, but he stepped in and stepped up. And a lot of people would say, hey, coach, he only won those first 3 games because they didn't play anybody. But look at those last 3 games. They end up playing a ranked Ohio State in the game, as well as Penn State, who was ranked. Hopefully, offensive coordinator Sharon Moore gets an opportunity to become the head coach at a Power 5 level. But he might become the head coach at Michigan. There's been a lot of talk of Jim Harbaugh leaving for the NFL. Will he stay? Will he go? Who knows? Only Jim Harbaugh can tell you that. Congratulations to the Michigan Wolverines for winning the 2024 National Championship with a convincing win over the Washington Huskies 34-13. So with all that being said, make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button as we're on the road to 40,000 subscribers. And Coach Hayes will catch you at the 50-yard line. Peace.